Obviously, from my experience, I'm only able to imagine human senses. But yeah, I became really interested in this idea of what other senses could there be. So I mean, I guess that feeds into that, like, yeah, extra sensory stuff. Whether that's like for the Foofees, for example, like you'll notice they only have eyes, so they do have a type of telepathy in terms of their communication. That's not widely known, but I have written that down somewhere that I haven't shared. So yeah, they can communicate in this kind of like telepathic way, or like the things that grow out of their eyeball holes. They don't really have eyeballs, but they have eye holes, and the things that grow out are like these symbionts. So these are like creatures that, yeah, they're not entirely the Foofy, but they're not entirely separate to the Foofy. So I kind of was really intrigued with this idea of, yeah, of like reciprocity within nature, and like, you know, creatures and beings mingling or working together. And yeah, from like different sensory fields or like dimensions. I mean, I guess this feeds into dimensions in a big way. And yeah, for me, the Foofys are adjacent. So like, there could be a Foofy behind you right now and you'd have no idea, because they're outside of like your visual spectrum. Like the light that they emit is outside of what we can physically perceive. So like there's plenty of creatures that can perceive, you know, ultraviolet or like infrared light, or like, you know, we know that animals perceive colours differently, so that's a big part of it as well. Like that feeds into it. And yeah, I do find it curious, like again, that kind of idea of what other senses could there be that we just don't have access to, or maybe we did have access to. So again, with the like the neurodivergent thing, it's like on a core physiological level, that's like all these extra brain neurons that didn't get pruned as you were kind of developing. So like you have physically have more connections in your brain. So again, that gets overwhelming if you're trying to process it all the time, which is what kind of can lead to the difficulties. But then fundamentally, I'm like, okay, there's more connections. So like, how far do those connections go? Oh, or the other thing that I was thinking about before was like this idea of time. So like when you talk about ghosts, for me, like I have this kind of idea that I enjoy, which is like, maybe we don't see ghosts, maybe we can just see at another time. So like this idea, this concept of time being all at once, you know, that it's not linear. So I was like, okay, maybe this idea of like you see ghosts, like, well, maybe that person, maybe you're just seeing that person that was there 100 years ago, but you're just seeing through time. So like again, like a visual perception that sees through, you know, what we are aware of now in terms of like, yeah, sensory perception. This
I think there's
sorry.
I know. I mean, all this stuff fascinates me. I mean, the fact that telepathy and all these kinds of things are pretty much proven, but still kind of talked about as being kind of like, you know, pretty fringe stuff as well. I feel that we have, as a human race, I think we were at one stage capable of many things that we aren't capable of now, because we have filled our lives with so many things which dull down our senses in a way, or are kind of distract us from these senses.